Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to the 3K subscriber questions and answers video. I figured I'd do it live. I have a bunch of questions that were asked, excuse me, previously, but just in case somebody's straggling. I did this once before live, and it seemed to run smoother. So whatever. If you're watching this in the future, it just felt better live. I don't know. Before I get started, thank you, all 3,000 plus of you, although I don't get 3,000 views, so some of you aren't really hanging around so much. Most especially patrons, Lindsay Pankhurst, who's been, you'll have to excuse me. Timing's terrible. Lindsay Pankhurst, who's been a patron for over a year now. Ryan Chataway, Brian Lomax, Lee, who's been just huge all this time. Peter, of course, who's been around. If I forgot your name, Emily. And many others. The 3-year anniversary should be quite a better, more extravagant event. Look for that in February. But thank you so much for. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. My voice is just kicking. Thank you, thank you all. What's up, Daniel Hammond, who's in the chat. So Lee, who helped re-push me over the threshold, put a link, something up in Killer Flicks back when I first recrossed the 3,000 subscriber threshold, and there was a bunch of questions there, so I will start with those preloaded ones. First, Lee Debo Duckers asked, did I see the new It and what did I think of it? Yes, I did see the new It. I thought before seeing it, I thought it was way too hyped, and it kind of turned me off. But once I saw it, I felt like an idiot because it's worth the hype. Not so much for horror reasons. I mean, it follows modern horror jump scare tropes. It's the story of the kids that was the best since, like, what, Goonies, Stand By Me. Like, it was really it felt good. It was a really realistic telling. I think it's still in my top 5. It might be like 4. If off the top of my head it's 3 Billboards, Raw, Blade Runner, it might be 4th, if not 5th, on my list of 2017. So yes, I did see it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I didn't want to. So there's that. Dylan asks, what is my second favorite horror franchise? Second favorite. I don't know. Scream? Maybe? I don't know. It's Friday the 13th, and then they all kind of blend together at the bottom there. Yeah, I probably go back to the Scream movies more than anything else after Friday the 13th. So Scream? Reluctantly. And Lee McCoy, godfather of Killer Flicks, asks, who would win in a fight, Jat, ellipsis, never mind. He's probably not finishing the question because he knows the answer. Jason would win in a fight, in just period. Doc Sampson, M4 Movies, asks, do me and Dennis loan out movies to each other like libraries, late fees? I'm not there anymore, but when I was, I think he was lending me movies more than I was him. I didn't have my entire collection there. I don't know what I had with me there, but he would leave a movie with me, and 9 times out of 10 I wouldn't watch it in a certain amount of time, and then he would just reclaim it. So not late fee so much as my window to watch the film just kind of closed. So no. Hey, Kelly, big Friday fan here. You're in good company. Matthew James, have I ever watched Johnny Got His Gun? No, 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 no. What I've seen of it is from the Metallica 1 video. And when I think there was like a documentary on the making of the 1 video, and they showed a little bit extra of Johnny Got His Gun. But what I'm hearing is it's quite depressing, and what you see of that movie in the 1 video is pretty depressing on its own. So I couldn't imagine an extra 90 minutes or so of that. But no, I have not seen it in its entirety. I've seen the SOS, help me. So yeah, no. Matt Vickery. Vicery? Oh, I wish your name was Viceroy. That'd be better. Sorry. What horror movies do I feel are very underrated? Underrated. Trick or Treat, because there should be a sequel announced for it by now. Like, really? Underrated. Wrong Turn, the first one, is quite better than I mean, it's got what, 6 sequels? So how underrated is a movie that gets a bunch of sequels? Final Girls, very underrated because I guess it counts as a comedy, but really, really, really good horror elements there too. For that same sentiment, I'm going to say Club Dread, Broken Lizard's Club Dread, because fucking funny and really good horror elements. Daniel Hammond says The Collector's unrated, which I just underrated, excuse me. I just saw both of those movies for the first time this year, and it's okay, but you're entitled to your opinion. It didn't blow me over. I want to know more about The Collector, and it seems like they just kind of don't dig into that too much, which is it's a tad frustrating for me. I mean, I get it. The less you know about somebody who's chasing somebody, the scarier it is. But at the same time, just why? Just, I don't need to know too much. Just what's happening. It's just random killing at that point. Random killing by a scary dude with cat eyes. Kelly Mary Farrell, favorite Friday Survivor girl. Does it have to be a girl? Because it's Tommy Jarvis from Part 6. But you know what? I'll flip floppins. Trish from Part 4. Is that right? Yeah. If I can't say Tommy Jarvis from 6, I'm gonna say Trish from Part 4, because I just like that Jarvis storyline way too much. Okay, now to the questions that were on the actual video that I posted a couple weeks ago. Touch of Film says, congrats, buddy. A channel which is not just about movies, but fun to watch. You're being awfully polite. Well done, buddy. Well deserved. Never a boring video. Never a boring video? Now you're being really polite. No question there, but thank you. Jay Fish. Long time no see. Congrats on 3,000. What is your phone number these days? Asshole. We need to catch up. Been too long. Text me, Jay Fish. I'm not going to answer that publicly. So, yeah, I'll have to figure something out. Anybody have real questions? WitsyTube, Q&A. What are your top 3 movies out of the Halloween franchise? Mine is Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween 4. Okay, Halloween, easy. That one's easy. 1, 1978. I'm going to say H2O. And yeah, I'll replace Halloween. Wait, your Halloween 2 from 2009 is in your top 3? Whew. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on 2 of them. Halloween and Halloween 4, but I can't. Halloween 2 from '09. I don't. That would be somewhere near the bottom for me. But H2O would be my top 3. Yay. False proxy sessions. Reporter number 1, who is CP and why should people care about CP's Will I Like It reviews and opinions on movies? Well, false proxy sessions. It's been a while, so I'll give you credit there. The mission statement of this channel used to be not so much about my opinions on movies, although I do give them at the end of a review. I try to figure out who would like a movie, not so much, why you should agree with me on whether or not I like it. The will I like it is actually you, the viewer. Will you, the viewer, like it? It's not I'm asking, hey, will I like it? No, it's meant to be you, the viewer. Why do I see? I should just change a name because, see, somebody has a really good version of what I was trying to do, and I think their channel name is Why Should I Watch? And it's like, oh fuck, that's probably a better way to put it, because it seems more better. But yeah, why should you care? You shouldn't care about my opinions. My original goal was to try to cover as much space as possible, whether or not a movie was good or bad. Just, yeah, the movie, I think the movie sucks, but so-and-so will probably like it. And that it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a genuine review with that. Although, no, wait, Happy Death Day, I recently covered. So there's the old WILI style there. But my opinions, why should you care? I don't know, because I'm an asshole. I'm funny and stupid. I try not to bullshit as much as possible. Is that a fair response, reporter number 1? Norville's Nightmares, which I think that's Matthew. Congrats. My question would be, have you ever had any movie, TV show, something that had ideas, and how far did you get with them? Have I ever had any movie, TV show, something like that? Ideas? Oh, you're asking me if I've had ideas. Yes, I've written a couple of films. I've half shot 2 films. There's actually a scene from what was a pilot. There's some salvaged material from a pilot that I shot for a web series, and it's somewhere on this channel. I think the title of the video is a scene from an abandoned web series, and it's about a girl who works at a Hooters type restaurant, but struggles with the idea that she makes more money for her sexuality and being attractive, and it was a really unique idea, which, I mean, I really wish I could have explored it more. But there's some we shot some stuff, so at the very least, it, there's a bunch of what ifs, but there's something to look at and say, well, what do you think of this? I don't know. No, I've had plenty. I'd love to somehow cover something with the way sexes are different. Period. Just period. Because there is a difference, whether or not you think so. There are differences in ways men and women get treated in all different walks of life, and I like to explore that. Brian Lomax. Hey, Brian. Oh, the chat lighting up. I'm sorry. I'll get to you in a second. What song would I have played at my funeral and why? The Party's Over by Journey, because, why not? I want people to mourn my death, but maybe laugh first and get the irony. Party's Over. And plus, it's just a hokey song. Who would want to hear that? I would hope it would be something like this scene from Love Actually. What movie am I sick of other people talking crap about? Talking crap about Alien Covenant. Not that bad. When did I start recording and why? When did I start recording and why? Late January of 2015. And because I was depressed and am an entertainer, and I didn't have the proper outlet to get my entertain-edom out. So I figured, yeah, let me get my love of movies and not have to crawl completely out of the box. It was kind of a self-coping mechanism. So that's why. Good question. Lucky back Ginch. All right, let me go to the chat. Agreed. Part 4 is the best other than Tommy, says Daniel Hammond. Kelly says Trish is a surprise. I love part 4, Tommy. Everyone just talks about how cute part 5 Tommy is. Tommy's way cuter. Just my opinion. Well, I'm not trying to fuck him, but I could see where you're coming from. Ginny number 2 is my fave. Okay. Daniel Hammond says ice cream truck is a perfect example of that, CP. LOL. Perfect example of what? Shit, I wish I remember what I was talking about. LJ says Logan versus Freddy Krueger, go. And hiya LJ. Easy. Logan. Well, you would have to assume, is Logan dreaming? Like, yeah, I need the stipulations of the battle because they're kind of different universes. But yeah, I would say Logan if they're on a level playing field. Tyrell, listen, beautiful performance in My Friend Dahmer, sir. I could not watch that movie with a straight face, which, by the way, is probably one of the worst movies to watch with a half smirk on your face. But any of you, if you guys know Tyrell, friend of the channel, Tyrell, listen, dead ringer, absolute dead ringer for the guy's name is slipping my mind, who did a really good job. My Friend Dahmer, just total dead ringer. Maybe his hair a little light compared to Tyrell, but still, holy shit. Daniel Hammond says, my funeral song would be the second half of Layla by Eric Clapton. That's quite powerful. Kelly says, Logan versus Freddy, winner gets a set of steak knives. That's funny. Thanks, man. Yeah, Tyrell, plus congrats. It looks like you're really doing a whole bunch of filmmaking stuff, like not like the rest of us who just are wannabes. That's quite impressive. You keep doing it, man. Work is work. That's one thing. People ask me about comedy, and they're like, well, how come I don't see you on TV? Hey, you don't see me on TV, but I'm making people laugh, for a living, and it's better than doing what you want is awesome, and it looks like you're having fun, and that's awesome. LJ says knitting contest. I think that's in reference to the Logan and Freddy Krueger thing. Back to more questions from preloaded video. Tyrell says, yeah, man, got some exciting news next week. Keep up the comedy. You're great. No, you're great. You're great. I'm getting there again, but thank you. If I make you really cool channel art, will you give me credit, shout out in your next video? Sure, of course I would. I'm dying to see this really cool channel art, though. Low carb, congrats again. What is your next favorite genre besides horror? Dark comedy. Like dark comedy. Like, I don't mean like, I'll just say it again, dark comedy. Like 3 Billboards could be dark comedy. Fargo, dark comedy. The Ref, dark comedy. Those are just things where they take something incredibly real and find the absurdity and humor in the situation is something that I really get a kick out of. And 3 Billboards does that perfectly. But yeah, I would probably say dark comedy, something where, not everybody laughs. Some people are even turned off by it. it's real. If you that's as a comedian, there's just things to laugh at in life, and it just depends on how close to a certain situation you are to take it too seriously. But everything to a certain degree is either ironic, funny, you name it. But when movies do that well, it's I'm in. I'm in. Just I have quite a vast sense of humor, and I seem to appreciate it more when somebody like I don't know if there was a movie about a hurricane and somehow some guy finds a way to make a joke about it. Gets brand new sneakers, makes a joke about them getting soggy or something like not funny to a lot of people, but I get it. I get why somebody would do something. I don't. Bad example. This is why you don't do these things live, by the way. Fucking thing sucks. What age was I when I got into horror? 4, 5, and I'm not even kidding. My uncles who are like aged, like they're only like 6, 8 years older than me. So they were like older brothers with benefits or without benefits, whatever. They would watch a lot of like Friday the 13th, all that shit. And I would just sneak in, and because they were just a couple of years older than me, they didn't really, care. So they let me watch. And yeah, most kids my age were watching stuff like He-Man and stuff. And I was watching Friday the 13th, the final chapter. So young, real young, 4, 5, maybe 6, but it's young. I knew Jason before I knew what 2 times 7 was. That's for certain. The chat lit up again. Dark comedy's awesome. Fargo, American Psycho, yes. Good. 7 Psychopaths. I know. I keep being told I need to go see that, especially considering 3 Billboards. But yes, whose reviews do I recommend besides me? Of course, reviews. Brian Lomax does an incredible job. Brian Lomax Movie Talk. Luke over at Razor Wire Reviews. People who every frame of painting. Not like he needs my help, but I tend to dig into the deeper stuff. Emily's Adventures in Horrorland. Quite a mix of information and comedy. I wish I could be as talented as that young lady. But yeah, there was a couple. What is the spark that turned me on to a movie appreciation? What is the spark that turned me on to movie appreciation? I don't know. Being lazy, not wanting to go outside and play. It wasn't so much, oh my God, movies are awesome. It was a slow burn. It was, I don't remember I think I got a summer job at a movie theater, and for some reason over the course of time cleaning the theaters and seeing the different types of movies and crowds that would go in and out, I tried to figure out what it was about, all right, well, what about this movie got this crowd, and what about that movie got this one? And so it was a really, it wasn't normal. I tried to look at it from a, I don't know, outsiders type thing. And I realized I'm probably making less sense the more I talk, but I enjoyed watching stuff like it. I'd rather watch it. Antisocial. That's the word I'm looking for. But as far as movies are concerned, getting into movies was a lot more about understanding, what it is about movie, because movies is more about the character and metaphors, and you can watch a television show and just be like straightforward. All right, this guy needs to find this girl, and there's not really, well, at least back when I first started getting into movies. Now television's way better than movies, but I don't know. I had a lot going on. I don't know. Most underrated film of the year, Tyrell. If I can't count 3 Billboards, underrated. if I can't count 3 billboards. Oh, I can't find my letterboxd list. I'm trying to think. Raw was really good for me. Come on, you son of a bitch. Can I say Blade Runner because nobody saw it? Wilson. I'll say Wilson. Not many people have seen that. There's my unofficial choice. Wilson. House of Yes, dark comedy. House of Yes. I've never heard of that. Interesting. Thank you, though. Super Dark Times in 1922 and Gook are pretty underrated films this year. I've heard of 1922, not the other two. I'll rephrase. What was the movie experience other than working in theater that made you go, wow, I love movies? Oh, okay. Probably when I saw the Psycho remake, and it's not that I was as turned off. Again, I thought, okay, it's basically the same movie, but I didn't have this, like, it was a movie cover brand. That's what it was. So I was curious to see what, why can something be done without having the same effect? And so going back and watching the original Psycho, I was like, all right, yeah, there's just something. The shots look the same, but there's just something different. And I guess I just kind of wanted to dig deeper. And then I saw Saving Private Ryan shortly after that, and I was like, oh yeah, this is powerful. And then it just kind of, it wasn't like a click. It was kind of like a slow descent. But yeah, LJ, really difficult. Oh, Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Didn't drop under 3,000 again yet. Well, okay then. Well, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, no. Lee certainly helped it go back over. Good question though, Dennis. I'll check Wilson out. Yeah, Tyrell. Another dark comedy. Woody Harrelson plays somebody with a bit of a antisocial disorder, and just speaks freely. That's about as much as I'll give you about that movie. Daniel says, CP, I recommend Super Dark Times, one of those more terrifying films. I've never heard of it. That's interesting. It's also set in the early 90s, which is nice for a change. Yeah, the early 90s is an interesting period. I can't wait to live on my own. I really can't. Didn't mean to put my name twice. Stop spending all my money on Lee. Money? No, I'm just doing favors. Jelly or syrup? I prefer syrup, Lee. No, but seriously, we've been through so much together, and you've always been one of the few that I click on without hesitation. You're still the funniest YouTuber I know, even if it's at my expense. Ha ha. You seriously deserve 30,000, but not a sub more for your talents. Loves and cuddles, says Lee. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, definitely syrup though. And yeah, the absolute sweetheart of the horror community. John Steele, good luck, CP. All the best, man. Thanks, guys. The Q&A, not a, support NA, or just support, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you. Question: favorite exotic chick? By that he means not white. There's an ongoing joke with me and a few people that, well, I think it's Sasha who's used the word exotic for not of the same color as he. But I'll answer that genuinely. Favorite exotic chick. Favorite non-white girl. Alicia Keys is not hard to look at. That's for certain. Yeah. Yeah, what's her face from Star Trek and or Guardians? If I'm going for a secondary, most hated YouTuber. Hated. That's a strong word, John. Hated. Um, does Theo's movie reviews still make videos these days? Because that might count. That might count. Anybody who tells me that my father committed suicide to avoid me, that's somebody who doesn't really deserve much admiration from me. Favorite YouTuber? Emily's Adventures in Horrorland. Top 3 most influential comedians to me. Thank you for that question. That's quite big. George Carlin, easy. Number 1. That's like really easy. Number 2, Sam Kinison. And number 3, I'm gonna say Robert Schimmel because he's underrated. Dennis says, no, John started the exotic trend. Did he? All right, John, see? So you're going to have to lay claim to that exotic word because Sasha's he's certainly getting mileage out of it. Dane, all right, so that's all. I think that's it. That's it from the preloaded questions, and I've been kind of mixing and matching here with the lively chat. Oh, wait. No, I didn't miss anything. I could appreciate that, CP. Well, I'm glad you could appreciate that because I'm fucking lost in my head. Why do I like movies? That's one you're going to have to give me like a week and I'll get back to you. Yeah, again, it was a slow burn. There was so many different elements to it that I, like as an observational comedian, I was already doing comedy before I really got into movies. I tried to look at multiple sides of a story, a situation, and the movie going experience when I was working at the theater. I was just like, why is every crowd so different? Why, and then it just slowly, I don't know. And I went to film school and I got, I learned the ins and outs of what character is supposed to be, what colors are supposed to have certain meanings and all this other shit. It was a learning process. And then I just slowly got turned on to it. Who would win in a fight, Collector or Jigsaw? Well, Jigsaw doesn't count because he would have to set up. Oh no, wait, no, you're good. You're right. They both kind of set up traps. I'm gonna say Collector because the Jigsaw kind needs to trap you, and it seems like the Collector draws you in. They're both kind of similar, if you ask me, but Collector, especially Collector 1, that house was fucking booby trapped. It wasn't like a glass thing that you had to stick your hand in or a pit of nails, and the Collector made that house fucking booby trapped. So I'll say the Collector. It'd be better just to see them do a fist fight, and boring. I'm not the most hated. Working on it. You're working on being the most hated? Well, shit, you should work your way around the Bluetooth community because a lot of spite and jealousy and a lot of just nonsense in that community. Sasha willing to shave his eyebrows for the exotic face sit. Wow. Interestingly put there, LJ. I've only heard of George Carlin of those 3. Yes, Sam Kinison died in 92, 3. He was over the top and very, very R-rated. Robert Schimmel died recently, within the last 10 years or so. If you want me to reload it, see, I could say Mitch Hedberg too. Another guy dead. So three modern comedians. Because actually, I'm thinking like George Carlin's alive, and he's just as dead. Three modern day comedians that I thoroughly enjoy. Brian Regan, which I really should have counted. Brian Regan probably would have been in the place of Robert Schimmel. Brian Regan, Sebastian Maniscalco, and does Eddie Izzard count? Is he still doing comedy? It's hard to narrow it down to three. I need three separate categories of three. I miss George Carlin. Can you imagine the material he'd be doing these days? If you go back to George Carlin stuff from like the 90s, he predicted this. Yeah, I would like to see like a George Carlin Jammin' in New York style stand-up set based in sometime this year. George Carlin, What Am I Doing in New Jersey, based in 2017. But yeah, no, George Carlin, he kind of called it, but yeah, he would. I mean, if you want George Carlin today, you really need to check out Louis Black, because George Carlin had a lot of stuff that he said about politics. Louis Black is your guy if you're looking for somebody to really talk about the absurdity of modern day politics. Louis Black, Jim Jeffries, who's not technically a political comedian, his thing on gun control is fucking spot on. People these days wouldn't be able to handle his humor. Carlin? Well, yeah, Jim Jeffries says cunt more than anybody else, and he's got a steady following. So, yes and no. Hard to be more hated than Theo in this circle. Yeah, the only people that just don't know him. That's don't have the full effect. I think that's the only difference. LJ says Robin Williams and Lee Evans for me. Lee Evans, I've heard about. No, I think I've seen a little bit of Lee Evans. Jim Carrey as well. Jim Carrey was a good comedian. That is true. Who has the biggest dick, you, me, or Lee folded in half? Well, Lee. I mean, I don't know if many people don't know this, but Lee actually only has one leg. That thing on the right side is his dick, just so you know. But you didn't hear it from me. Cody, the answer would be Daniel Hammond. No, he didn't ask that, Daniel. Sorry. And Cody says, I stand corrected, LOL. Yes, it's bipod. Lee is a bipod. How long have we been going? I can't see the clock. All right, so guys, if you have anything else to ask before we wrap it up. Oh, and thanks for joining us, Cody. Cody says, I heard it was an ice cream truck tattoo. Definitely. It's absolutely an ice cream truck tattoo. And he's got the signed poster wrapped around it. That's how he keeps it warm. Oh, brother. Which, by the way, if you go back and watch that Scream stream from last Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I never got to give out my gripes for that movie. So I'd like to genuinely, without being humorous, I'd like to sit down, me, Lee, and the director of Ice Cream Truck, and genuinely go over some of the things, because if some of it was meant to be tension, I think it's misunderstood, at least as far as I'm concerned, but apparently Lee got it. So I don't know. It just looks like a lack of coverage, and you could chalk that up to a low budget. But like Cody mentioned in the chat, and I in the stream, excuse me, that there's these long lingering shots, and they don't seem to make much sense. And it doesn't seem like it's being done artistically, especially because you're not really seeing anything. You're kind of hearing things. And I think that's just a lack of coverage, a lack of having the time to, all right, well, let's get it from this angle, let's get it from that angle. And it's something I totally forgot about that movie. There's moments where they tell and don't show, which is bad in movie making. That's why people hate Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is just, people telling stories. People telling stories in horror is really, really bad. A lot of exposition, a lot of tell, don't show. And then a lot of, you know, weird shots that just linger while things are happening that you'd really rather see. I don't know. It's not that I hate it as much as I was so hyped from Lee. So I think that's the shit I give it. What did I just recently watch that was equally as disappointing? And I think I put it right above Ice Cream. Oh, Jeepers Creepers 3. If I'm gonna base it on budget, Jeepers Creepers 3 is the most disappointing horror film everything in 2017, because I can see that maybe Ice Cream Truck just had, you know, it was just they couldn't get 3 shots because they didn't have the time or the money. But Jeepers Creepers 3, it's just messy and bad, Sucking on a cup from Come and Go. No, I've got my special Star Wars Last Jedi cup from the movie theater, which, by the way, I'll be double dutying it with Luke from Razor Wire later on today. If you're watching this live, we're going to be doing a Star Wars hype video where we're just going to be BSing about Star Wars and, I don't know, fangirling out. The most polite way to put it. Looks like an ice cream cone. Sucking on a cup from... Yeah, no, that's right. Did you ever finish it, Cody? I like it when the people in the chat talk to each other. Kelly says, poor Lee. Cody says, yes, I finished it. The last 15 minutes just made it worse. Made it make even less sense. Yep. I could have told you that. I like Kevin Smith's comedy films, but his horror I'm not a fan of. Red State's really good. I'll say that. And I'm done talking about that. Jeepers, I like Jeepers 3 was a 90-minute long dick tease. All that controversy and work for that. Yeah, I agree, Cody. It was messy. And somebody get Meg Foster some skin cream is what I have to say. Dear God. Jeepers 3 during the stream, you look so damn bored and it was muted. Yeah, no, yeah, it was, yeah. I should have had it off. Jeepers Creepers 3 was a total shit fest. Yes, it's not good. And again, if you're putting Jeepers Creepers 3 against Ice Cream Truck is like a genuine independent film. Like you could tell, and you could. There's something there. Jeepers Creepers 3. It's just like, what? Well, first of all, why does it take place in between 1 and 2? There's really no reason for that. I get it, the 23 days thing. Explore more about Jeepers. No, I can't. Maybe that's a good idea, Cody. Next time we all get together, we should compare Jeepers Creepers 3 to Ice Cream Truck and what is, and maybe throw Cult of Chucky in there. What, why, how, and then just question mark. I guess I need to check out Ice Cream Truck. Yeah. Make sure you have nothing else to make sure you're stuck. Like if you're on a train or something, or on a plane and you have like a long commute and you have nowhere to go, like that would be a good opportunity to watch Ice Cream Truck. That's how I watched Cult of Chucky. I was stuck on a plane and there, you know, I sat through it because there was nowhere really else to go. I would have turned Cult of Chucky off like an hour in. But when you got nowhere to go, you got nowhere to go. Good luck. You'll never be able to get those 90 minutes back. That's Daniel. That's right. That's why I just said what I just said. Cody says, what are your top 3 movies of the year so far? That's easy. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Raw, and Blade Runner. Yeah. 3 Billboards, Raw, Blade Runner. Easy. And then Dennis says Raw, Alien, and Blade Runner. Close, Dennis. Somebody hasn't been on my letterboxd recently. CP, a horror movie I would love to see you tear 10 barrels of shit out of is The Remains 2016. You see, so the closest thing you'll get is Emily of Emily's Adventures in Horrorland and I are going to watch a couple of things. And I really wish I recorded us watching Happy Death Day, because she tends to bring quite darker humor out of me. And it's fun to riff off of her. So maybe I'll throw that on the list. Somebody asked us to do Pumpkinhead, and I think we're going to do that someday. Just so I know what peeps are talking about. Yeah, you know what? Lee loves it, and he keeps stepping further away from his love. Although, you know, getting free shit from the filmmakers certainly will curry favor, if you're asking me. But he has stepped a little bit away from the greatness of it. But I think if you ask Lee and 4 other people what they think of Ice Cream Truck, I think 80% of the group is not going to be too impressed, if that says anything. Daniel Hammond says, mine would be Wind River, Gerald's Game, and It. Those are your top 3 of the year. Gerald's Game I still haven't seen yet. Wind River, I've heard things. I've also heard, what is it? Shit. What's her name? Lady Bird? Is that the name of it? Quite good. I don't know. Cody Leach says, Scream, Creeper versus Creeper. Yeah, the Ice Cream Man, just an unfleshed out villain. Yeah, it'd be a fun discussion, like a genuine. Which is worse? Why? What leaves more to be desired? Why? Kelly says, you and Cody slamming movies that Lee likes. That's a good show. Yeah, well, Lee, I see. Another thing I have fun. I try to figure out people's tastes, and I cannot for the life of me figure out, understand, predict Lee's taste. I just don't get. I don't like, every time I'm like, all right, Lee will like this, and then he hates it. Like he hated Valerian, which granted I haven't seen yet, but he's usually into like visuals and you know, the spectacle of color. From the trailer alone, it's a proficiently made looking movie. Proficiently looking, yeah, whatever the hell you want me to say, interpret it the way I mean it. But he has it as his least favorite film of the year. A year in which he saw Beyond the Gates, Cult of Chucky, Ice Cream Truck. He has Valerian, Resident Evil Final Chapter. Valerian's at the bottom, so he's an odd bird, that Lee. Love him to death, but I just can't figure out his taste for the dick of me. Close. Dennis says, close, ... I don't know what you're talking about. Is it that delayed? I still need to see 3 billboards. I already know it'll be another favorite of mine. Don't do that. Don't assume it'll be a favorite, because you're setting hopes up. That's what happened with me and Ice Cream Truck. Still to this day, nobody gets Lee. Emoji Movie. Norville's Nightmares. Hey, Matthew. I love Valerian, but I think it's probably an acquired taste, mainly because it is something I loved, and I love acquired tastes. Well, you acquired those tastes. Know some other fans of it. Yeah, I've seen a wide array of scores for that movie. So I got it on Black Friday for a pretty good deal. So I'm interested. I don't think it'll, like, when something's made well, I appreciate it. Like I didn't like Silence, but I understood that it was an incredibly well-made movie. I'll never watch it again. I love Scorsese. But you know, if you're asking me like to rate a list based on rewatchability or like personal taste, Silence would be near the bottom. But because I understand it's a better made movie, it's, you know, in the top third half of my 2017. Yeah, isn't last, question mark. Oh, Emoji Movie isn't last. Yeah, no, nope. I don't know if Lee saw it or not, but whatever. Close to guessing your top 3. The Emoji Movie was terrifying. It literally brought hell onto the screen. Yeah, I'm not watching that movie. No interest. Although, yeah, I was starting to prep for my list for 2017. This will be my third year that I'm doing a countdown video for the year. I don't think I'm going to even see 100 movies this year from the year. The first year, I think it was like 115. Last year was 107. This year, I haven't scratched 60 yet. Unless I have a really busy December, not going to have 100 in the list 2017. Bye Bye Man. Lots of worse movies to choose from. Kelly, go check out Emily Adventures in Naraland's review of Bye Bye Man. Quite funny. I'm just going to keep plugging until. Luke, Razor Wire Reviews. If you're commenting, that means you're ready. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I miss Denmark? That has layers. That question, Luke. Like right now, the temperature is way too fucking hot here. So on a scale of comfort, period, 10. Variables. It all counts. Do I have my passport with me? Like, we'll call it a solid 7. How about that? With all the variables counted, it's a solid 7. Dennis says, no way in hell you think Valeri is worse than Chucky, Ice Cream Chuck, or even Creepers. I'll think Valerian is worse than Chucky, Ice Cream Chuck, or Creepers. I will, Dennis. That's interesting. I don't know if you're talking to me or what, but I'll think Valerian's worse than Chucky, Ice Cream. Dude, Ice Cream Chuck is bad. Jeepers Creepers is bad. Oh, no, you're saying no way in hell I'll think Valerian is worse than Chucky. Okay, now, yeah, I get it. I get it now. I get it now. You're probably answering, and it'll be responded in a second. Norville says, still haven't seen Silence. Still haven't seen Silence. I know people have loved it, and other people I know hated it. I get it. I get it. It's Scorsese making movies, but a little boring for me. Hostels with Christian Bale is looking really good. It's a new Western coming out this month, directed by Scott Cooper. Haven't heard much of it. Luke says, I usually do a cram period throughout December, March of the previous year's films. Yeah, that doesn't count for me. I don't think I cheat. I think I maybe go to mid-January, and then I try to start recording that list late January. But I try. Whatever. Luke, if you're ready, let me know. I'm pretty much done here. We're just answering whatever directed. Donna Wilson has a emoji with a finger going into making all this. Find hot baby fot sex. Check up my profile for link. Donna, what is fot sex? Hot baby fot sex. Check up my profile for link. All right, guys. So if you want some hot baby fot sex, you're looking for Donna Wilson. That is the place to go for hot baby fot sex. Kelly says, LOL, don't sext me, please. Well, I don't know if Donna was sexting anybody else so much as creating an invitation. Norville's Nightmares. I'm now just going to see Get Out. Missed it in theaters. Got it on Black Friday. Yeah, that was a really good price. I don't know if you got it for the $6 that it was, but really good price. Really good price. All right, guys. So that appears to be it for this Q&A. Thank you once again so much for getting me over 3,000, although I'll probably drop below it again in 2 weeks or whatever. It's been a bizarre period ever since I really stopped doing things legitimately and from a steady location. Maybe that'll be solved in 2018. One would hope, right? So yeah, thanks again. Stick around if you can. I promise we'll turn the corner. We're getting there. We're getting there. The content will improve to a degree. And then I would figure by maybe mid 2018, we'll be back to whatever the fuck it was in what, December of 2015. I'm not making any promises. Emily says, damn, I missed it. Emily, I plugged you like 7 times. So, yeah. So yeah, guys, you're going to see me and Luke rather shortly because we'll be talking about Last Jedi and hyping the fucking testicles off of it because. Thank you so much. And as always, have a day.